Well, good morning and welcome to Conversations with Rotary Action People for Wednesday, May 20th. My name is Donald Hovis and I am with the Myrtle Beach Chicora Rotary Club here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Today's topic is Christmas in May and just how will Santa get here? Our featured speaker today, joining us from outside of our Rotary district, from the Rotary Club of Hampton Roads in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Mr. Keith Klindgren. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Keith is also an honorary member of the Motorcycle Rotarians, which is a Rotary fellowship. You'll hear more about that in just a few minutes. To kick us off today, I do want to go over the vision statement of Rotary. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Before we get started, if you're listening to us here on the Zoom call, thank you for being here. Please go to the chat box and tell us where you're watching from and your Rotary Club. We are also streaming this on the district's Facebook page. If you can hear us over there on Facebook, how about post a comment as well below the video with where you're watching from and your Rotary Club as well. Keith, I want to introduce a few people on the line here today, worthy of definitely a recognition here. Past district governor from the Rotary Club of Hilton Head Island, Mr. David Terrard. Good morning, David. District Governor-elect from the Rotary Club of Myrtle Beach, Ms. Pauline Levesque. Good morning, Pauline. Our Public Image Chair for our Rotary District, the wonderful Mary Gask from the Rotary Club of 5 Points in Columbia, South Carolina. And Keith, your good friend and fellow motorcycle Rotarian, our District Communications Chair from the Somerville Evening Rotary Club in Somerville, South Carolina, Mr. Terry Moore. So Keith, well, thank you for joining us. I love your background. I cannot wait to hear your story. But in talking with you prior to coming on today, you told me you've been in Rotary for 43 years. So
that is correct.
That's a tremendous accomplishment. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your Rotary career now.
I joined Rotary, I believe, 1978. After having spoken at a Rotary Club, I was invited to be the guest speaker talking about the job I was doing at that time, working for the National Alliance of Business in the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. My father, it was really the one that got me to join Rotary. He'd been a Rotarian for over 63 years. When he passed, he had, I think it was almost 64 years that he had been a Rotarian. So Rotary has always held a special part in my heart. And when I was asked, it was no question that I would join. I've been a member of 2 Rotary clubs. I first joined Princess Anne Rotary in Virginia Beach, and then later transferred to my current club, the Rotary Club of Hampton Roads, because it was a Friday morning breakfast club and was easier for me to get to club meetings and participate in. I've been between the 2 clubs. I think I've held every position except president. I was never able, time-wise, to commit to being president, but I think I've done everything else. I just think Rotary and the purpose of Rotary is very important, and try to encourage everybody I meet to follow the principles of Rotary.
We could not agree with you. And I'll tell you, there's one time you can say no to Rotary, and that's when someone asks you to join. But after you join, you can no longer say no while you're a Rotarian.
That is true.
So, you know, based on your background and a little bit that I know about you and talking with you and talking with Terry Moore, who set this wonderful interview up today, is you've been a Santa Claus for over 30 years. I want to definitely hear, about how did you once start becoming Santa? Why did you remain Santa? Really just, I want to hear your story about being Santa, because I love Christmas and I love Santa Claus myself. So take it away.
Santa Claus, it was really a fluke that I became Santa. The local city of Chesapeake here in Southeast Virginia, my wife worked for the Department of Parks and Recreation. They had a annual event that they had Santa Claus at, a craft show. And their Santa Claus had a heart attack and was unable to participate. I had a very, very short white beard, and they asked me if I would fill in for them. So I put on their Santa suit, and the first day I put on their Santa beard, which was not the most expensive outfit, but it served its purpose. And everybody that I talked to that first day, all the adults and all of the crafters at the show said, you don't need the beard. Don't wear that fake beard. So the second day, I took the fake beard off and just went in with my real short, natural beard. And the children didn't seem to notice the difference. It was the suit and the fact that I did have a white beard. They accepted me as Santa, even though I really, in my opinion, didn't look like Santa. And that started it. That was it was just supposed to be a fill-in. And then after that, it just took off. I had constant. I've never done an advertisement saying I'm Santa Claus, come see me, or I'll come see you. Everything has been by word of mouth. I have, since about the third year that I did it, I have had to turn people away just because I've had so many people that want me to come to their event or do a Santa Claus walkthrough. I've been in 2005 and again in 2007. I went to the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School up in Midland, Michigan. Charles Howard was one of the original Macy Santa Clauses. And he started this school in New York because he thought that there were too many people doing Santa that didn't portray Santa the way he should be portrayed. And I learned a lot at the schools, a lot of things that I had been doing wrong or that I had not been doing. As an example, I can remember early on that a friend of my wife's sister asked me to come over and see their 1.5-year-old daughter and do Santa Claus. Well, I walked in the room going, ho, 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 and scared the daylights out of her. Learned that you don't do that. When you've got real young children like that, the best thing you can do is walk in, hi, how is everybody? Merry Christmas, and just be relaxed and calm. And then after a while, when you're talking to the children, you can do a ho, ho, ho. And they're not scared of that. Just little tips like that. The school talked about doing makeup and dyeing your hair. Well, neither of which I needed. I've always had bright rosy red cheeks and the white hair, so I didn't have to worry about any of that. Subsequently, I went from a store-bought Santa suit to a custom-made Santa suit wore that out, had to get a second one, and I'm on my third right now. So, to me, the importance is portraying Santa in the right way, especially when you're talking about young children.
That is really, really neat. Now, the questions are starting to come in over here, and I think you may know the reason why is I had no idea there was a Santa school, for one. So I want to jump right over and let you answer that question. Is, how long is the school, and do you have to go back for recurrent training?
The school is a 4-day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you do not need to go back. But it's all about camaraderie. It's all about learning how to be a Santa and a Mrs. Santa, and you want to go back.
And I can see on your virtual background, and those that are at least watching, and when you talk, they'll see your virtual background is the motorcycle has the letters SC, if I'm reading that correctly, right up there, the handlebars there. So
it is. The bike is a Honda Magna, and I had it painted along with, it's got a Texas sidecar on it. The front of the sidecar has a picture of Santa Claus holding the Christmas tree. On the back of the sidecar, it says Santa's sleigh, and it has a great big red bag in it that I normally have a teddy bear hanging out of.
Now, do you ride this motorcycle only during the holidays, or do you ride this motorcycle all year long?
No, it's mostly during the holidays.
So
there you can see a little bit better picture of the sidecar.
Maybe you have multiple motorcycles then?
I laugh because my wife says I have entirely too many. Right now I'm down to only 4. But yes, I have multiple motorcycles.
So that'll lead us into you talking a little bit about the fellowship that you're a part of, in the Rotary fellowship called Motorcycling Rotarians. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's a international, as all Rotary fellowships are. It's an international fellowship. Just for the love of riding motorcycles. And we have rides scheduled around the country, around the world. Usually there's 3 or 4 rides every year. Here we have, in our area, we have the North American chapter of the fellowship. And again, we try to get folks together to do to rides and have the camaraderie. And then subsequent from that fellowship, several members decided that they wanted to form a Rotary club. So now there is the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians, as well as the Motorcycling Rotarian Fellowship.
How many members in the Rotary Club do you know of? And then how many members do you know of maybe in the fellowship?
I'm not sure about the fellowship. I know it's in the hundreds, but I don't have an exact number. And like I say, they're from all over the world. The Motorcycling Rotarian Club here in North America has right now, I think it's got 27 or 28 members. Some of the members are full members. They joined this club, that their only commitment is to Rotary, is through the Motorcycling Rotarian Club. Other members, such as myself, who have been Rotarians or are a member of a Rotary club outside of motorcycling, as I'm the Virginia Beach Rotary Club of Hampton Roads, we are what we call ourselves associate members. We're honorary members of that motorcycle and Rotarian club because you can't be a Rotarian in two clubs at the same time.
And to add to that, that is where you met our wonderful Terry Moore. Am I not correct?
I did. That's where Terry and I know each other, is from the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians. And we meet every Wednesday, the first, second, third, fourth Wednesdays of the month, online in a Zoom meeting just like this, every Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock.
And is there a base location for the Rotary Club of Motorcycle Rotarians?
Well, it's based, right now, it was formed in Michigan. So we're in their district up there. I think it's like 68, 90 district. I don't remember the exact district number, but it's based out of there. All of our communiques come through that district. But like I say, we have members in the club from South America, Canada, and the United States. That's the North America.
That's awesome. One kind of comment for those watching, not sure, Terry Moore may know more, but do you think we have enough people in our district to start a motorcycle Rotary club? So just keep that in mind. That was a good comment there. So Keith, I will take this pause here and say, if you have a question for Keith, please, if you're watching on the Zoom call, post it right here in the chat, and I'll get those questions answered by Keith here. And then if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you. Post a comment or question below the video, and we'll get your question answered.
I see the question from Pauline about the best experience and the funniest things children have said to you. There are so many experiences that as Santa, but I think one of the ones that is most that I remember the most, we were my wife and I were on a cruise in Alaska, and we were on a shore excursion in Anchorage. I was just sitting in the restaurant with a group of us, and I had on a red T-shirt. Well, my beard is very very white, very big, and I was just sitting there. In fact, I'm trying to find a.
He's trying to get a virtual background. There you go.
I'm trying to find. If you look at that one, you can see how just sitting in a red shirt with that little hat on. We were in the restaurant. This boy could have been no more than about 6 or 7. Came into the restaurant with his grandparents for lunch. He saw me sitting at the table. He tore out of his grandma's hand, came running over to our table and threw his arms around my neck because he just knew he had seen Santa Claus. And I mean, just the expression on his face, the look of sheer joy of being able to see Santa Claus in the middle of September, it was priceless. It's something the experience I could never trade away. It was fantastic. Funniest thing children have said to me, they've asked for all kinds of things. I mean, you can imagine a child's mind is pretty imaginative. I think one of the saddest things that I have is I've had several occasions where children have asked me to get mommy and daddy back together. And it's really touching when you have to say, well, Santa is very good at doing toys. I don't do very good at getting people back together. That's something your mommy and daddy will have to work out themselves. And again, just things like that really touch at your heartstrings. It's what makes me wanted to do it for 30 years.
What type of motorcycles do you own, Santa?
Right now, I have a 650 Suzuki Bergman scooter. I own my Santa cycle, the 94 Honda Magna. I have a 1979 Vespa scooter that was my father's. And then I have my main ride right now is a 2018 Spider RT, the 3-wheel motorcycle. In 2017, I had cancer, and the subsequent radiation chemo left me with a equilibrium problem that I didn't feel comfortable riding my Harley or my Goldwing. So I got rid of both of them and got the Spider for 3-wheel, so I don't have to worry about falling over.
I see a lot of people saying Christmas in July, Christmas in July. Well, how about Christmas in May here today? Right? I agree. Let's see here. What types of public events does the Rotary ride in? So the motorcycle Rotarians, they ride any public events?
As a club, we have not yet. We've created our own rides for various things, but we don't do it as a group for a public event yet. And I say that because we're still a brand new club. We've only been in existence a couple of years. So we're still getting our feet wet. Yeah, I mean, I've participated in several Toys for Tots rides and rides like that as Santa Claus. I've also participated in a lot of rides. I'm very active in the Ride for Kids here in the local area for, in diabetes prevention.
Are you always in Santa mode? Now, I think
No.
I might know the answer.
Well, it's yes and no. When you look at the picture above me, it's quite obvious that or my background, that yeah, I'm in Santa mode. I wear the hat, I wear the red shirt. I think I have more red shirts than I do any other color, but I'm not being Santa. However, one look at that and you can see it sure looks like I am. But in 2017, when I went through the cancer treatments, I lost the ability to grow a beard on the entire left side of my face. So I lost my real beard and then have had to go to a professionally made custom beard that I wear during the Santa season. So now I'm no longer Santa Claus year-round.
One question here. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the glasses program fundraiser?
Do what's that now?
Can you maybe talk a little bit about the glasses program fundraiser?
Oh, that we're doing in our Rotary Club. Yes, we are collecting glasses. I have a mission in Guatemala. Then we have one of our Rotarians, in fact, the first president of our Motorcycling Rotarians Club, goes down there every year and provides eyeglasses and health care for a couple of very remote villages. And we collect glasses and get them refurbished and take them to people that have never had the opportunity to have glasses before.
That's outstanding. I really appreciate you talking about that. Any further questions here for Santa before we wrap it up today? We'll give everybody a minute or so. For those that maybe just joined or joined in after we got started, We're delighted to be joined by Keith Lindgren today. He's from outside of our Rotary district. He is currently in the Rotary Club of Hampton Roads up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And if you can't tell by his virtual background, he has been playing Santa for over 30 years, and he is a member of the Fellowship of Motorcycle Rotarians. Keith, really do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
This has been one of the coolest ones I think we've done because of Santa Claus. Now I'll give a kind of just a quick little shout out. I'm a photographer here in South Carolina, and I work with real bearded Santas throughout the holiday season and set up this whole beach scene on the beach for people to have their Christmas portraits done. So I consider myself an elf. So I love when I get to see Santa Claus. Looky there. That looks like Kris Kringle himself right there. Yeah, we do have a comment that just came across. It said, "Bless you for your commitment to being Santa. We need more joy." I could not agree more.
And it is one of the most rewarding, joyful things that anybody could ever do. Because you're dealing with children, a lot of times, like I say, some of the things that they ask for, you can't provide, and you have to tell them that. But it's that hope and that total commitment that children give you that it just makes it so worthwhile.
Well, thank you again for joining us today. For those that watch this, we will post this video once we're done on the District 7770 Facebook page. We would encourage you to go there, get that video shared on your club pages and your personal pages. And lastly, if you are in a Rotary Club today and you're not the public image chair, we want to get the public image chairs involved, not only by maybe participating in a CWRAP segment, but definitely getting the word out to members of your club. We send emails out, but we need the public image chairs to help us spread the message just a little bit further. Because we do these conversations with Rotary Action people every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. We've got some great speakers scheduled through now, I think middle of June. So we look forward to the next one coming up on Friday. But Keith, thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
To close us down, we will recite the Rotary four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all
Fair
concerned?
to all concerned.
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Better friendship.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned? That's a wrap for Conversations with Rotary Action People for Wednesday, May 20th. Special thanks again to Keith, a.k.a. Santa Motorcycle Rotarian. Thank you for joining us again. We do appreciate your time and telling us all about you being Santa Claus for so many years. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Hope everyone has a wonderful Wednesday. See you on Friday.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Keith. Enjoyed it very much.